Welcome back to Real Roots Radio. I am so excited to welcome my dear friend Dani Flowers to the program today of the award-winning Sister Sadie. How are you doing, Miss Dani?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
Good.
Your musical journey has had many twists and turns, but you have been with Sister Sadie for the last several years, and that has to be an absolute thrill to make music with people that have been your longtime friends and kind of have like a musical home and a sisterhood in Sister Sadie, right?
Oh yeah, it's been crazy. I have known most of the girls, Jaylee, Deanie, and Gina, for a very long time. I've known Deanie since I was about like 16 or 17. I've known Gina since I was like 19. I've known Jaylee since she was like 11 or 12. So, yes, I've known these women for a long time. I respect and admire all of them so much as well. Jaylee Roberts is one of my favorite female vocalists of all time. So, singing with her is a complete dream. Gina and Deanie are two of the best at what they do in the world. So it's really great to play with these women. And I've made new friends too with Rainey and Katie, and they're just the coolest girls in the world.
What makes the camaraderie, and I use the term sisterhood,
Mhm.
what makes that connection that you guys all share so special, and how does it come across in the music that you guys make?
I think it's really special, first of all, to have any type of band where all of the members are so close with each other. Especially, girls, I'm not sure why, but girls like do have a reputation for not being able to get along with each other or, spend large amounts of time with each other. But we absolutely love it. In fact, we've been off of the road for the entire month of July and we are missing each other like crazy. So it's very special, I think, just that we're a band in general that loves to spend time together. um, but I was thinking about this the other day. I grew up in elementary school, probably not elementary school, but junior high and high school for sure, feeling like a total goober most of the time because I was like, let me tell you, obsessed with country music and with bluegrass music and just music in general. And there was nobody else in my school who felt the same way that I did. There were girls that sang or maybe did musical theater or whatever, but like I knew like facts about country artists. I would like hear somebody say something and I would just randomly start singing an old country song with the same title or something. And I felt like a weirdo and I felt super out of place, but I was totally fine with being me. But now like, I live in this world where, like, someone will say something crazy, and not only me, but, like, Deanie and Jaylee will both sing the same old country song at the same time, so it's like, I just feel like we're a bunch of, you know, weird kids with special interests, and it all happens to be the same special interest, and we're so lucky to, like, have each other, you know?
Just a bunch of roots music loving goobers, right?
Yeah, pretty much, that's Sister Sadie to a T.
You get new t-shirts, you can just slap that on there, right?
Yeah.
The new album All Will Be Well is fantastic, and you mentioned your guys' shared passion for country music. You guys
Mhm.
brought in some notable kind of country influences in your guys' brand of bluegrass on this new project. Why was that important?
I'm not sure that it's something that we set out to do initially. We just sort of were, we have a Dropbox. We have like an Apple Music playlist where we share demos that we've collected over the years, songs that we've written over the years, songs from other artists like Nancy Griffith that we love. And we sort of just all listen to it for like a few weeks or a few months, depending on how long it is until we make the record. And on this one, there were just so many songs that we all agreed needed to go on the record, and so many of them we were like, "Man, this kinda has, like, a '90s country vibe," and, that was completely on accident, but it did go along really well with the fact that there is, like, a giant resurgence of, like, the '90s country sound and '90s country songs, like, in general. So, like I said, it wasn't purposeful, but we definitely did lean into it when things started to go that way. And Deanie's been in the country music industry for years and years and years, playing with like Patty Loveless and Vince Gill. So, she produced this record and she's been a part of making so many '90s country records that are iconic and legendary. So she kind of knew exactly what to do, and we still found places for all of our acoustic, like there's still tons of banjo on there. There's still a lot of mandolin on there. There's just a little bit of steel, a little bit of country music piano on there too. So, um, and like I said, it's something that most of us in the band were really fond of, like when, except for Jaylee because she wasn't born, or Rainey. Like at the time the music was popular, we were all very fond of it. And now that it's come back around, we're still very fond of it. And now so are the young ones. And it just like seemed like the right thing to do for this one.
To have a country grass flair to the project, and as you mentioned, have someone like Dani in the room behind the scenes that was a part of making so many iconic country sounds with her fiddle during that decade, it does add a level of authenticity to your guys' kind of 90s country grass flair on the project.
Yeah, I think so. And it's definitely a dream come true for like singers like me and Jaylee who grew up idolizing Patty Loveless and obsessing over those records. It's really extra special for us to be able to be on this record with somebody like Deanie, with, an industry veteran like Gina. It's super special for girls like us for sure.
Sister Sadie, their new album All Will Be Well is available now, and it's going to be a great time Labor Day weekend in Piketon, Ohio. You guys mentioned that you guys had much of the month of July off. You guys are slam packed with a busy tour schedule in August. Saturday, August the 30th, Labor Day weekend in Pike County, Ohio. You guys are going to be at the SamJam Bluegrass Festival. It's their 10th anniversary, and it'll be
Ooh.
your first time at SamJam, won't it?
It will be, is it Sister Sadie's first time? It's definitely Danny Flower's first
It's
time.
definitely Danny Flowers' first time.
I've
I'm not,
never been to
Sister
Sam
Sadie may
Jam.
have played it in the past. I know that several of the gals have been there before, but I
Yes.
know for Miss Danny Flowers, it's your first time at Sam Jam, and you're pretty excited about it.
I am. I've been hearing about Sam Jam for a while now. I think there's been a couple of years that I've even chatted with you about trying to get up there to be there. And I've just never made it around. But like you said, this August is full of dates, and Sam Jam will be our last show of August. So I'm very excited.
You'll be able to cut loose and just and have a blast, right?
Yeah, just hang out, hold your baby, um, play some music. Hopefully there's good food there. Are there food trucks there? Because if there's food trucks
Oh,
there, then
all
I'm
sorts of great
I'm
food and
already in love.
yes, all sorts of great food. Everything from wings to French fries and chicken. I mean, they got it all at Sam Jam.
Nice.
So
I can't wait.
it's Sam J 10 sponsored by Garage Beer. It's going to be a lot of fun. You mentioned, it is their 10th anniversary. You mentioned you've heard a lot of buzz about this festival.
Mhm.
What's the vibe or the buzz you've heard about this festival, both from bandmates that have played there and the industry in general, that makes you so excited to attend?
I mean, I've heard it's one of those like party festivals where we're gonna have a good time. I mean, I love a festival where the folks are honestly there to have a good time, whether you're like partying or just like partying, whatever you want to consider partying. But there is nothing more fun than playing for a crowd that's like involved and paying attention and like into what you're doing and really there to have a good time however they do that and listen to good music. I've heard those types of things about Sam Jam. I've heard it's that type of crowd, and um, crowds like that are literally my favorite thing about playing music. So I hope it doesn't disappoint. I don't believe it will, otherwise it wouldn't have been going on for 10 years.
The crowd at Sam Jam definitely brings the energy. And
Sweet.
I know I've heard Dudley Connell talk that John Duffy's opinion with the Seldom Scene was that he viewed the performance as more of a conversation with
Oh, I
the
love that.
band and the crowd more so than a recital. And it's definitely a large give and take with the crowd at Sam Jam, which is one reason the bands love playing there so much. They
Great.
definitely give a lot of energy back to the band. So you're in for a treat since that's
I love
that's that's
that.
your vibe. So
Yes, we love a good crowd interaction. And this record that we're now touring is super personal. There are 9 original songs. I wrote 8 songs on this record. And so it's very like, it is a conversation. And so I'm really glad to hear that. I'm even more excited now.
you mentioned your original songs. You've been writing songs for a long time. You used to write
Mhm.
songs for Sony. You had several songs penned and set aside for some other projects throughout the years. What's it mean to have an outlet for your original songs in Sister Sadie, and then on this new album to have so many of your originals kind of shaping the band's new album?
It's really special, I will say. So on No Fear, our last record, and on this record, um, back in the day, I had like a major country record deal, and I made a record that never was released that nobody ever heard. But on
I
this
heard it. It's
record,
really
you
good.
you did hear it secretly. He didn't pay money for it.
No, no. We don't want to get in trouble, but
So there are several songs on No Fear and on All Will Be Well that I recorded on that record. So it feels really great that this is like a way for those songs to come to life. And as a songwriter, you never know if your songs are going to get cut or not at the end of the day. If you're not working on a project, it's really hit or miss as to whether or not another artist isn't going to write all of their songs and is going to look for one of yours. So being in a band where we are constantly looking for material and always needing songs, it is really nice to know that like there's a potential place for my songs to go at the end of the day. And even with having, different vocalists in this band is one of the things because I'm like, this song might not be my style, but like Jaylee would sing the crap out of this. So it's really cool to know that like there's potential for hearing a really great other female vocalist sing a song that I wrote. Um, and Jaylee wrote a song on this record. She's a great writer. Three of the songs I wrote with Dani. Dani's a great writer. Gina's a part of two songs on this record. So we all love to write songs. And I think everyone would agree that it's really nice to have a potential outlet or a place for those to, make it out into the world.
when did you first start writing songs?
I didn't actually start writing until I moved to Nashville, which was so I moved here in 2006, but I think I started writing songs right after I graduated high school. I had this weird situation where, which you know the story, but I was in Leanne Womack's fan club when I was a young child, like 12 years old. And she was so kind to me always. I got to meet her a bunch of times, and she somehow found out that I moved to Nashville when I got here. And I literally got a call from her assistant one day, and she said, "Hey, Leanne wants to know if you want to come write a song with her and Dale Dodson, who's just like a legendary country music songwriter." And I was like, "Yes, I do want to do that. Absolutely." And so I hung up the phone, and then I was like, "I've never written a song before." So honestly, my very first songwriting experience was co-writing with Leanne Womack and Dale Dodson. And they just kind of, set me up with a couple of other writers. And then I remember a couple of months after I wrote with them, I ended up sending them a song that I wrote by myself. And I think you could kind of feel like they were like, okay, like she can actually kind of maybe do this. It's not just the writers that she's with. But yeah, I think I was 19 years old when I did that. And it's crazy because my whole life I've always considered myself a singer first, and that's always been my favorite thing to do. But really quickly after I started writing, um, I discovered that I just absolutely loved it and would never stop doing it.
Songwriting is so personal.
Mhm.
Um, and several songs on the new project are really personal and vulnerable for you. What was that like, kind of sharing some of those parts of your story in song and having them recorded and kind of out there in the world?
I think it's a super interesting thing because, every time you play a song for somebody who's never heard it before, especially if they don't know you or you didn't go out of your way to tell them the story of the song, that song is going to mean something to them that's completely different than what it means to you. And I think that's super magical. Um, but on the other hand, it's kind of funny. There's one song on the record that I wrote about a boy who I used to think I was in love with. And I kind of wrote this song with Deanie and Ashley McBride, who's like one of my best girlfriends in the world. And I was just really talking to them about this situation. And um, I remember how I felt when I wrote the song, and it was not good. I was sad and unhappy. And now we sing the song on stage, and Deanie will sometimes introduce it like this is a song that Dani wrote about some boy she used to whatever chase around or something. I don't know what she says. But it's like we'll get to certain lines in the song, and it causes me to just roll my eyes because I'm like, I cannot believe I felt that way. I cannot believe people are going to think I felt this way. So it's kind of funny because it gives you, kind of like a a retrospective every time you perform the song to where you're like, look how far I've come, look how much better I've been at who I choose and the things I let people make me feel. So there's things like that, and then there are songs like Let the Circle Be Broken, that are really personal in different ways. And that's sort of the opposite. That's a song that started out of something really dark, out of like abuse that Deanie's experienced, that I've experienced, that our co-writer might have experienced, and that we know other people have. And uh, kind of our message about how it's our responsibility to end that cycle of generational trauma and abuse and things like that. And you would think that something like that would be really hard and dark to perform every night, but I always say that song is about the light, that it's about ending the cycle. There's a line that says, "Take the light, leave the bones," and so that is like a really healing thing that we get to go through, not only when we wrote it and when we recorded it, but every single time we perform it, because there's a different reaction from the crowd. And that's something really special, to have people who do resonate with your very specific message of the song, um, differently than them being able to interpret it for whatever they want.
We're chatting with Dani Flowers, the band Sister Sadie. Their new album, All Will Be Well, is available now from Mountain Home Records. Be sure to see Sister Sadie Saturday, August the 30th, part of SamJam 10. It's going to be a great weekend of music. The Poe Ramblin' Boys, the Appalachian Road Show, East Nash Grass. There's going to be a Mountain Heart reunion, and even Pure Prairie League's going to be there. They'll be performing
Ah.
right after. Later the same evening as Sister Sadie. You'll see the Steel Drivers. It's going to be a lot of fun. So samjambluegrass.com. Now, Miss Dani, we mentioned the 90s country flair on All Will Be Well. One of the songs that is not one of your originals, it's one of the few covers on the project. You mentioned Miss Nancy Griffith earlier in the day.
Yeah.
You got to record a Nancy Griffith song with Steve Earle. How cool was that?
That was a pretty cool thing. So we love Nancy Griffith, and we love this song particularly. And this was one of the first songs that we decided had to be on this record. And we didn't really think anything about it. We went in and we put the three-part harmony on it. And then we were talking with some friends of ours in the music industry about this record, and the topic came up of maybe having a guest artist on there, and we all sort of kind of like brainstormed as to who we would like to have on it and what song we would like it to be on. And I am just the biggest Steve Earle fan. I love his songwriting, I love his singing, I love his records. Like I said, Guitar Town is like one of my top 5 favorite records of all time. And we just really thought he would fit the vibe of Wish It Would Rain. We know he was a good friend of Nancy's, and we asked him to do it, and he said yeah, which was crazy. So Deanie literally flew up to New York where he lives and went into the studio with him, and he was so kind, and put a vocal on this track. And when I heard it, I absolutely flipped out. I didn't imagine I would ever get to hear myself and Steve Earle singing on the same track. So I didn't get to be there when they did it, but I am still just as happy. And he's legendary. He's, especially as like songwriters go, and um
He's like the
yeah.
dean of alt country, right?
Yeah, love that guy. Oh, he's about to be the newest Grand Ole Opry member. We're so happy for him about
Which,
that as well.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Steve Earle just, I mean, that's as cool as it gets right there.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out the new album from Sister Sadie. It's available now. Check out where should folks go to stay up to date with you guys on your socials, your website, your tour dates, all that stuff.
Ooh, definitely follow us on social media. We're always up to Sister Shenanigans on Instagram. You can follow us at Sister Sadie Music, I think. We're also on TikTok. We're on Facebook. But the best place to find everything going on with us is going to be sistersadieband.com. You can find all of our shows. You can get tickets. You can buy like exclusive merch that's only available on the website. And yeah, links to anything that anywhere you could find us on the internet. You're going to find links on our website.
Now, you did mention the Sister Sadie shenanigans on Instagram and on TikTok. How much fun has that been cultivating that online following on social media? You guys seem like you're having too much fun filming all those reels and videos for Instagram and TikTok.
It is. Too much fun. There's a lot of footage that we can't show you. I'm just kidding. Um, there is a lot of footage of us doing it though, because you'd be surprised how long it takes to get a proper like lip sync done, especially with like 4 to 6 girls taking part. It's so much fun. A lot of the time we're just sort of like recording things that we are already doing. Other times we're just recording little trendy things that we've seen on TikTok that we think would be funny for a girl band. Honestly, the process of filming is probably the most fun part because we are messing up and, it's fun. Um, and we have folks who are always interacting with us too, which makes it even more fun. I think if people weren't paying attention, it wouldn't be as much fun, but we have, some like inside jokes with our Instagram followers and things like that. But yeah, it's the most fun. I feel like I perpetuate most of it. So I'll like film the videos and edit the videos and things like that. So I do feel like I'm get on the band's nerves a lot.
You're the instigator.
I'm the instigator for sure. And I will tell you what, it's my goal by the end of this year to get Deanie Richardson to do an outfit of the day with us. So if anybody's listening that spends time on Instagram,
Peer pressure
comment.
works, guys. We're
It
peer
works. Peer
pressuring
pressure
Dani.
totally works, and we are,
Peer pressuring
all
Dani.
for it.
We need a
Just kidding.
hashtag, right?
Yes.
So, how has that been such an important part of the band's toolkit in your guys' growth over the last few years?
I know there's a whole demographic of people, some of them who are in our band who feel that, social media is like a little frivolous, not completely necessary. And I get that. There is definitely a huge part of me that wants to just like shake the general population and be like, it's about the music, just love the music. But not everybody's a music lover, and definitely not everybody's a bluegrass music lover. So my sort of thought process about it is if we can like grab their attention with like little outfits of the day, or do like a cute dance to one of our songs or something. There's this crazy statistic that I heard when I started getting into like social media promotion that the large majority, I don't remember the percentage, but it's like over 75% of people scroll social media with the sound off. So that's heartbreaking for a musician. Like, how do you get your music out there if people literally are not listening? So we've just learned that you have to catch their eye a different way, and we have fun doing it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. So it just works out, if we can catch the eye of someone who's never heard of Sister Sadie before or never listened to bluegrass music before, we consider that a win. And then and we do have folks at our shows who will come up to our record table and tell us that they love seeing how much fun we have together. So I think that's important for folks for some reason as well too.
It's going to be a lot of fun when Sister Sadie takes the stage at SamJam 10, and who knows? Maybe if you come on out, they might even be in one of Sister Sadie's reels. You never know. So,
oh, there's a real chance.
see Sister Sadie at SamJam, and be sure to check out their new album, All Will Be Well. Miss Dani, thank you so much for joining me on Real Radio.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hi, thanks for watching. If you liked our video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit subscribe so you'll be notified when we have new videos posted. Be sure to check out some of our other content as well. Thanks for watching.